Women's Club Championship. straight line through the madness. Everything around me, oh, it fades away. I can't help but wonder how it got this way. I can't help this feeling that things gotta change. Where's my happy ending? All I've been waiting for. Where's my happy ending? My happy ending. I'm tearing through the walls, they surround me. Letting go of my pain, I will reach the end. Walking on a straight line through the madness. Everything around me, oh, it fades away. I can't help but wonder how it got this way. I can't help this feeling that things gotta change. Where's my happy ending? All I've been waiting for. Where's my happy ending? My happy ending. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you Can't wait. Hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red. Till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. 'Cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you again. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. See you
Sorry I kept you waiting forever and a day. But now we're out here together with nothing standing in our way. Can you feel the attraction? Feel the attraction. Can you feel it between us? This energy's inside us like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Like electricity. Taking over your body, it's flowing through your mind. This feeling's got me on fire. Don't ever leave it all behind. Can you feel the attraction? Feel the attraction. Can you feel it between us? This energy's inside us like electricity. Feel the love running through like electricity. Feel the love. walls of concrete. We've got the world at our feet. Don't let go, we're strong. Nothing will ever make us strong. 'Cause I know that we are forever and ever. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. You and I. Stop building these walls of concrete. We've got the world at our feet. Don't let go, we're strong. Nothing will ever make us strong. 'Cause I know that we are forever and ever. When it's you. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. You and I.
Nobody sees, nobody knows. We are a secret, can't be exposed. That's how it is, that's how it goes. Far from the others, close to each other. In the daylight, when the sun is shining. On the late night, when the moon is blinded. In the plain sight, like stars in hiding. You and I burn on. Two and together forever, we'll never change. Two and together, we'll never change. Nobody sees, nobody knows. We are a secret, can't be exposed. That's how it is, that's how it goes. Far from the others, close to each other. That's when we uncover, cover. That's when we uncover. That's when we thousand tons. On your shoulder, I can reach an endless sky. Feels like paradise. Put two and two together forever, will never change. Two and two together will never change. Nobody sees, nobody knows. We are a secret, can't be exposed. That's how it is, that's how it goes. Far from the others, close to each other. That's when we uncover, cover. That's when we uncover, cover. We could build a universe right here. All the world could disappear. Wouldn't notice, wouldn't care. We could build a universe right here. The world could disappear. I just need to live. That's when we uncover. That's when we uncover.
So the first serve now to Yamaguchi to get things underway. Of course, the NEC Red Rockets also coached by Akinori Yamada. And we are underway on that serve that goes out from Yamaguchi.
Well, she was trying to go long, but good read by Thailand, letting it go.
So it is 1-0 now. This now brings up Nguyen Thi Ngoc Hoa, Vietnamese import. I wonder how it felt for her when they went up against Vietnam in the quarterfinals. Attacking. That was Yanagita of Japan. Again, very small wing spiker, but very high. Well, perhaps Japan's version of Cici Rondina.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's not that tall of a player, but you know that she can really hit the ball. This time, though, it was a great net defense coming from Plumjit and Porpun.
So it is 2-0. Good start here for Bangkok Glass of Thailand. Yamaguchi sending it down, and here is the wicket attack coming from Mizuki Yanagita. We expect to see a lot from this very, very powerful young lady as we take a look at the ultra-fast spike presented to us by PLDT Home Terra Plan 699, ang pinakabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Koga on the serve. They go to Frazier on this one, and Frazier gets that off 2 blockers.
You know what I like about Thailand, what Thailand is doing here? They're trying to go long, knowing that the defense of Japan is not really defending that end line. So you can see it here. You know, Japan's libero is not really at the right position there.
So adjustments are in order here for the NEC Red Rockets. That is not a good reception, but great defense from Yanagita. And the attack by Uumi is sent back by guess who?
Well, Plumjit and Porncon once again.
Lumjit is a legend. In fact, I remember we had a fundraiser here not too long ago where her jersey was up for grabs and all you players went for the bidding. She's that popular. And this is a softer attack coming from Owumi that she will miss. And if you're NEC Red Rockets, Denise, you cannot afford these unforced errors.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? The intention was there. They went for that soft hit. They went for an off-speed hit, trying to confuse the defense. Execution wasn't done right. But, you know, as long as you have the right thing in mind, it's still a better option for the whole team.
Early timeout now for the NEC Red Rockets. So 5-1 is our score right now. And this is going to bring up Porncon Gedpard, who has drawn a lot of fans here in Biñan. Good serve once again. And they will go to the captain, and Owumi will deliver.
Owumi again targeting that end line. I think both teams actually going with the same game plan, going for those long balls because, you know, they're really trying to defend the hard attacks, which is, we don't really go to the end line for that.
And again, Japan not really one of the tallest teams in the competition, but they're very quick. Lumjit almost getting that one done. Here's Owumi. Frazier gets a hand on that one. They go to the other side now for Jindarat. Yamaguchi, back row attack coming from Koga, still dug up. Long rally ongoing. Push shot kept alive by Yanagita. Koga still kept alive, but there's going to be a net violation against
Jutarat,
Jindarat. So Jutarat, Montripila. It's called for the error. And again, if you're Bangkok Glass, errors should not even be on your plate against Japan. Oh.
Well, that was a good way to get that point back.
From the reigning MVP herself, that, of course, is the definition of an ultra-fast spike presented to us by PLDT Home Altera Plan 699, ang pinakakapagkayang internet na pampamilya. Frazier on the serve. There's the attack coming from Sagawa. Drop shot from Plumjit.
And great decision by Plumjit. I mean, not really going for a hard hit, but just knowing where to place the ball.
Thailand has just developed as a volleyball country over the past 2 decades, and now they are world class. Here's Frazier getting that one off the net. 4-point lead for Bangkok Glass. Combination play, and Owumi gets it done.
Very good play coming from Japan. You can see, I mean, look at the replay. Plumjit late for the block. Wing blocker wasn't even there.
We expect to see the wing spikers of Japan really take over the game. However, the serve from Yanagita sails out. So it is 8-4, an early 4-point lead for Bangkok Glass over the NEC Red Rockets. We will be right back. The defending champions up by 4, 8-4 right now against the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Bangkok Glass off to a very good start, but this is what we expected from the defending champions. Now the question is, can the NEC Red Rockets keep up?
Well, I think so. They have been scoring, and the points that, some of the points that they've been giving to Japan are actually 2 points were off a service error.
Yep.
So if they can manage to lessen those and really keep their focus inside the court, I think they will give Thailand a good match.
Thailand's living legend, Plumjit Tinkao on the serve. Owumi denied. Good defense there. Played by the Vietnamese, Nguyen Thi Ngo Qua.
Well, they have been solid, especially from that right side. No matter who the middle blocker is or the wing blocker is.
And it's amazing that the defense is actually getting it done for Bangkok Glass as Plumjit serves another one. Yamaguchi from the back, Yanagita, and again, you don't really have to be that tall, but if you can jump as high as her, you're very effective.
And as long as, you keep that offense or you keep that Thailand defense guessing, and this one's coming from the back.
Thai still up by 4. Here's the captain, Owumi. The reception there. And a quick attack, but a great dig by Owumi. And here is Koga. Combination play, and that one is going to work.
Another good attack from Bangkok Glass. I
Yep.
mean, you really have to try and set the momentum. I mean, the timing would be based on the middle blocker. Look at this here. Middle blocker was late once again.
Yep, and that is an ultra-fast spike presented to us by PLDT Home Ultra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Yamaguchi, back set, down the line. That is going to be a score for Nani Sagawa.
Well, Sagawa really controlling her last attack. Not really going for that hard of a hit, but just really knowing how to get it through the blocker.
She's actually a middle spiker, and she's a lefty. So Sagawa now to serve. And the libero of Thailand's been doing a great job as Frazier keeps that one alive. Of course, the starting libero is Tikporn Chinkiao. Back set now, double wall put up by Japan. And that is going to stop the center, Porn from getting that point.
Well, this is something that Japan needs, especially since they know that Thailand has a great net defense. When the attack is coming from Thailand's side, they should also have that steady defense on the net.
So Porn denied. Lead is down to 3. Sagawa
Good read.
just out on her serve. So 11-7, and at this point, Bangkok Glass would probably be happy to trade points with the Japan's NEC Red Rockets. But they also want to make a statement, as we have Willavan Anyibong on the serve. Frazier, good defense. Here's Koga, changing the velocity of her shot, getting it done.
It's kind of common sense right now for Japan, because when they do go for those long and hard hits, someone is always there for Bangkok Glass. So why not just try and get that, go to that donut hole?
Well, now 11-8 is our score. Still in favor of Thailand. Frazier, there is going to be a problem on that shot as it hits the antenna. Frazier also picking up a lot of fans here in the Philippines for obvious reasons.
Well, she doesn't just play good, she looks good.
That's right. She is 27 years old. Oh, good serve by Yamaguchi.
Yeah, finally after 3 service errors from Japan.
And of course, that was Tikporn Chinkiao, the libero. Their backup libero is actually a familiar name to a lot of Filipinos. By the way, it's Juanita Cotuang is in the lineup. She has not seen action yet. Bangkok Glass gets that point back. We take a look at this one again. Big quick play there coming from Gokwa. And that ultra-fast spike is brought to us at PLDT Home Ultra 699, ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. And oh, there she goes again. The diminutive Mizuki Yanagita.
It's very deceiving because the setter was a frontliner a while ago, so they thought she was going to go to for an attack.
Right. Now here's Sarina Koga. Porn. Plumjit, it's sent back, however. One more time around for Plumjit. That's off the head of Yamaguchi.
A great decision by Pornpun.
And
You know, normally, if it doesn't work, the setter wouldn't give it back to the attacker. But, you know, it's a great decision because the defense of Japan wasn't ready for it.
Porn is one of those setters that, okay, you screwed up this time, I'll give you another one.
chance, yeah.
Of course, you were a setter in your time as well, Denise, and you know how much that affects your hitters. As Ono, who is one of the more emotional members of this squad, scores for Japan.
Well, it has been working for Japan, especially when they get that good first ball. When they do go for that quick play, more often than not, it will go through the block.
13-12, still a 1-point lead for Bangkok Glass. Pornpun, Frazier on the push, kept alive, Yamaguchi and Yanagita. Quick play for Plumjit once again.
Legit again, finding that zone 5 rather, open area. I mean, when you look at the defense of Japan, it's always just one defender at the back. The sweeper will always be confused whether she needs to go left or right.
Of course, that's what the libero is for. Frazier, quick play now for Japan. That is a score for Nami Sagawa.
And that's what I'm saying when they do go for that quick set. More often than not, it's only one blocker that would go up against the attacker. So more chances, of course, of getting the point.
Again, also credit the good reception for NEC Red Rockets for making that possible. However, another service error will now lead to a 2-point lead for Bangkok Glass, and the serve coming up from Plumjit Tinkao. So Plumjit into the net. It's a rare service error for her. And Chang Kiao is going to come back in for that libero spot. Serve now for the captain, Oumi. Combination play again. Good read, however.
Oh, but a net violation.
They're going to call this on the setter, Kaname Yamaguchi. The lead still belongs to Bangkok Glass, but it is only 2 points. We'll be right back. As we rejoin the action here at the Alonte Sports Arena in Biñan, Laguna, we'd like to wish everybody well, especially our international audience. Wondering where this beautiful facility is. It's actually located about 15 kilometers south of the metropolis. And again, this is the venue for the past how many days already for these young ladies in the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship. And it's great to have you with us, Noel Zanate, with former star setter in this country, Denise Tan. And from a perspective of the setter, I know you're watching the setters all the time. Here's Sagawa. That is swiped across. Yamaguchi with a slam dunk.
Well, Yamaguchi, they need to be careful when they're talking about Thailand. Of course, when you're a frontliner, even if you're the setter, once in a while, once in a blue moon, you could always go for that thing, always go for that attack. And no reinforcement of that coverage.
And Nwokwa was powerless. So that lead is down to 1. Here's a jump float coming up from Sagawa. Changing up the serve. Nwokwa dug up. Sagawa into the net. And I'm looking over at the defense of, I believe that was Willa Van saying, we got lucky there.
Yeah, they did because the arm wasn't fully extended. That's why the ball didn't go in.
So she will make up for it on the serve. Yanagita from the back. Quick play again for Nwokwa. Yamaguchi, quick play for Ono. And you do not want to get this young lady, Ono, active because she is the emotional leader of the squad.
Well, especially since she has been carrying her team in the past few games. So once you get her fired up, I mean, it's not unusual if the energy would rub off.
Right. Yamaguchi with a good serve. Pornpun going down to Frazier. Frazier almost decapitating the captain, Akari Oumi.
definitely a better set for Ashley Fraser.
Let's take a look at that one again. Just a thing of beauty when Ashley Fraser winds up. And let's take a look at Ashley Fraser's official height. It's listed at only 6'2". She looks a lot taller than that.
She does.
Sarina Koga penetrating the wall. Once again, the NEC Red Rockets are just hanging in there. Let's see if they can snatch it away towards the end of this first set. Sarina Koga. Oh, in your face.
What a time to get that ace.
That is an in-your-face serve to Tikapon Chankyao. Just shakes it off, of course. Perils of being a libero in volleyball.
Set now is tied at 19, serving for the lead. Number 2,
Now we are tied at 18.
Koga.
NEC Red Rockets going for their first lead. They cannot get it on that serve, though.
Yeah. She was trying to go back to Dikaporn.
Right. So 19 to 18 is our score. Here's the setter. We mentioned she's picked up a lot of fans here in the country. Porn, good part. And it's long. Tied at 19 right now. And Kana Ono up to serve. 24-year-old from Tokyo. That is a powerful serve, however. It goes to the other side, and Oumi will give the first lead of this match to the NEC Red Rockets.
Oumi anticipated that ball very well, knowing it was going to go in, not even faked by Pornpun's attempt to get to that ball.
2019, however, Lumjit says, I'm in front, you're in trouble.
We'll expect the ball to go back again and again to Plumjit.
Gonna have a substitution here for Thailand. Fraser's gonna take a back seat to their defensive specialist coming in, Sutata Chulim. Chulim serve specialist, and we all know that in every volleyball team there is such a player who's also a serve specialist and a closet libero. Chulim is gonna put this one in play. Tied at 20. Here's Yamaguchi. Quick play. And that one will work again for Nami Sagawa.
Well, again, Japan is going back to that quick play. It's fairly simple, but when you look at the blockers, there's only one blocker always going for that quick attack. So higher percentage, of course.
Yanagita on the serve. Too near the net. That had to be a creative solution for Thailand. Here's Oumi. Porn. Oh, that's a bomb unleashed there by Aniya Pong.
Good connection by Pornpun and Willavan. This was a quicker bend, shorter play, or shorter set rather. So harder for the blockers to get to it.
21 all. Lumjit to serve. Oumi gets a second ball, not expecting that one. Sagawa. Lumjit. Send it now to the other side, and that is going to be Chutaran Motsipila, who doesn't really ask for the ball in that utility spot, but gets it done when it goes to her. And a timeout called by NEC Japan. Back with us here, ladies and gentlemen, and the faces of the players tell the whole story of where we are right now. We are in the semifinals. The winner of this matchup goes on to the championship game, where Bai Shenzhen of China awaits after Bai Shenzhen, of course, won over their Kazakhstan opponent in 4 sets earlier today. So again, the defending champions, Bangkok Glass, hoping to snare this one. Yamaguchi in trouble. Down the middle, and Mokwa is going to give a 2-point lead to Bangkok Glass.
You know what's impressive about Mokwa was in that last play, she didn't even have the time to really go for an explosive approach, but the takeoff was powerful.
And now Tinkao. Running attempt. That is out.
It's in.
Well, now the first referee from Kazakhstan is ruling that it was touched. That's Biñan, Akunova, of course working with Filipino international referee Giorgio Hugo.
Serving team captain, Akari
Umi. And that is just a self-defense act there by Yanagita. One more time around, and that is just being relentless now for Willavan Abiyato.
Well, the good thing or the nice thing about this, about Willavan is even though she has blockers, she's going to use those hands. I mean, she's not going to force the ball to go through the blockers.
Right. 2 set points for Bangkok Glass. And that's all they needed. As Yatakaw just checked in, sends that one long. It was a close first set, but nevertheless, the win goes to Bangkok Glass 25-22. They are 2 sets away from a return trip to the final. As we take a look at this one again, nobody touched it, it just went out. We'll be back. Stay with us for the second set.
And I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young and I didn't understand that you were the one.
Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us in our continuing coverage of the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship. Noel Zarate alongside Denise Tan here in the Philippines for Action TV and Sports 5. Of course, for our international audience, thank you for watching us. This is our semi-final matchup between Thailand and Japan.
Serving number 8.
First point going to Bangkok Glass of Thailand. Biñan. And here's a combination play now, and Yanagita able to score. And again, she is about, I would venture a guess, about 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't really matter here because it will come down to how she can get it through, especially you're looking at the spaces of the gap of the block.
168 centimeters, that is about 5'5".
Yeah, less, I think.
Probably less. Because your height, same as mine, 178, right?
Around 178, yeah.
178, so that's 10 centimeters off. 2-1 is our score, Bangkok Glass. Another serve coming from Wakwa. Drop shot from Ono.
Smart move by Ono. Seeing the defense of Thailand, all waiting for that long, hard hit. Seeing that big hole in the middle.
Now, no matter how hard it is for the Japanese to try and build a big lead against Thailand, that's exactly what they need to do early in this match. Combination play that is off the hands of the defense. So the lead belongs to Japan. And I've been actually told that Ashley Frazier, as we take a look at this one again, Ashley Frazier is actually the import of the team that Bangkok Glass defeated in their club championship.
And then they got her.
Yeah, they got her. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Lumjit says hello to Ono. Lumjit immediately going over to apologize. Again, it's nothing personal, but that's the second time Lumjit tried to decapitate one of the Japanese players. It's an ultra-fast spike presented to us by PLDT Homol's Aeroplan 699, ang pinaka-kayang internet na pampamilya.
Go out.
Yep.
Outside.
So the unforced errors, which Thailand kept to a minimum in the first set, starting to pile up.
Mizuki Yanagita.
Yanagita. So 5-5, I guess, huh? Lumjit kept alive. There comes the captain, Owumi, off the hands of Chitarat.
And that's what you need to do. If you have two strong blockers in front of you, you just got to use the block. Try and force it.
This actually is the biggest lead of the match already for the Japanese. 2 points against this powerhouse squad from Bangkok. Now 3 points. After that attempted 3-ball goes out. And an early timeout here for Thailand.
ให้เร็วขึ้นเราต้องเร็วกว่านี้แล้วนะมันก็เหมือนกับเซตแรกกันแหละนะตั้งโซนอะไรเหมือนคนเสิร์ฟอะไรเหมือนเดินแต่เราก็ต้องพยายามนะพยายามปรับเร็วๆนะคิดเร็วแก้ไขเร็วนะเปลี่ยนได้ไปพยายามเปลี่ยนเขาไว้เล่น
Just again using the hands of the blocker, knowing where she was inside the court, just twisting her wrist and using the block.
8-5 is our score, 3-point lead for Japan. We'll be right back.
ไอ้คาโกมันขึ้นก่อนนะแต่เราอย่าเพิ่งขึ้นก่อนมันขึ้นก่อนเบอร์2ขึ้นก่อนนั้นเราขึ้นช้านิดนึงแล้วมันขึ้นก่อนมันจะเคาะตรงกลางระหว่างแอชลีย์
Back at us here, ladies and gentlemen. Lumjit and Frazier find themselves down by 3 points here in set number 2 of this early as we come off our first technical timeout. 8-5, NEC Red Rockets of Japan up. Noel Zarat is still alongside Denise Tan in the second semi-final pairing for the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship. And again, coming off the timeout, Thailand delivers the goods.
And I think it was off because of an good first ball a while ago. It was kind of a poor reception coming from Thailand.
That, of course, was an ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Homo Terra Plan 699 ang pinakaabot kayang internet ng pampamilya. Koga against 2, no chance.
Yeah, Koga controlled that ball too much, or that attack too much. Actually, kind of just giving it to the hands of the block.
They have yet to score coming off the technical timeout. Talking about Japan. Now for Thailand, the legend, Lumjit. Yamaguchi, and they will not mask this one. It's a quick play all the way to Sagawa. Sometimes you want to hide it in the form of a combination play, but they went for it immediately. 9-7, NEC Red Rockets. Sagawa. Her serve is gaining momentum. Itarat gets that one across. On the run, oh no! The lead is 3 once again for Japan.
That was a great play. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's actually the first time we saw that slide attack from Japan.
You are right.
So really making the blockers work here. Only one blocker in that last attack.
Ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Homo Terra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Combination play, that is almost impossible to stop.
That familiar play back in the first set, we see it again. It's been very effective for them.
Well, Willavan Apinyapong getting it done this time. 10-8. Still in favor of the ladies in white. Free ball. Quick play this time for Ngokwa.
Good target again from Ngokwa. You know, normally the initial position when you're defending is you really free up the two corners at the back, zone 1 and zone 5, and that's exactly what happened. So Ngokwa, of course, putting the ball there.
Also credit the receiving team of Thailand for making that possible. The lead is down to 1 once again. Serve now coming from Montepila. Kept alive by the elbow there of Ngokwa. Oh, into the 2 blockers goes Chutarat.
Yeah, that ball had nowhere to go.
11-9 in favor of the Japanese. Doing a lot better here in set number 2. They were trying to fight from behind all the way in the first set. Yamaguchi. And the defense will not allow that to go through. However, Willavan is still able to score.
Well, that's a set that Willavan really likes. Slower and not so high.
Yeah, Willavan is also not that tall, but boy, can she jump. That's gonna be overreaching against Japan. The setter, that's usually a problem, Denise.
Yeah.
Especially if a setter's as tall as you. That happens.
It does. I mean, you're trying to go for that save, but sometimes you do forget that you're a backliner.
Yep. 11 all. The lead of Japan is gone. Yanagita will restore it for now.
Smart hitting from Yamagita, recognizing that the wing attacker, the wing blocker, went for it, trying to defend her. Of course, zone 2 will be open.
Well, she's got wings, that's for sure. Got springs and wings. Young lady from Japan. Lead back to the NEC Red Rockets. Gokhwa sending it to Frazier. Did she get? All right, they're contesting that it hit the corner. It's exactly what Coach K is also saying.
And that was outside.
But it is ruled outside. 13-11.
Serve number 2, Sarina Koga.
Sarina Koga has had a roller coaster today so far. Not been as consistent in previous matches. Gokhwa on the run. Good save that time from Torigoe. And no save is possible on that shot. This is just a great show of power now for the Japanese.
Yeah, a while ago they were kind of controlling their attacks, but now, I mean, they're putting it at the right place, but they are also exerting a lot more energy and power on it.
Yanagita showing us why she's become one of the more popular players of this Japanese squad here. Yanagita tries it again. Yamaguchi this time goes to Ono. Pun will attack. Almost. Yanagita, great read by Thailand. And that results in that point from Gokhwa.
And again, it's really all about finding that open area. And when there's a long rally, normally, of course, the defenders will try and go to that defense formation of waiting for that hard hit. So this time, Gokhwa seeing the donut hole, that big hole in the middle.
But again, credit Chankyao Tikaporn for keeping that one alive.
Yeah.
That's Thailand's hardworking libero. Oh, that's gonna just be, that'll be feeling sweet for Oumi after all the struggle she's had to put up with in this game.
Well, at least she gets a free point right here.
15-12. After all of that, it is still a 3-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Ono. Frazier.
Oh, Frazier going over everybody.
Well, if there's an absence of blockers, you almost guarantee a score, especially that cross-court hit coming from Ashley Frazier, which is an ultra-fast spike. Brought to us by PLDT Home Altera, Plan 699, ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. 15, 13, Oumi, Yamaguchi. Oh, Yanagita. And Changyao is not going to like herself after that one. The lead is still 3 for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. We'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship is organized by the Philippine Superliga, Larong Volleyball sa Pilipinas, the Asian Volleyball Confederation, and the city of Biñan. Of course, when in Biñan, our guests have to try the world-famous puto Biñan.
I have to try that.
You and I are going to have some after this match, as we have a service ace coming from Yanagita, who's just done a little bit of everything for Japan today.
Well, that's a good sign, especially, of course, if you already lost the first set, you have to really double your efforts in all aspects or in all skills.
No changes still in the lineup for Bangkok Glass. And Yamaguchi almost scores. Frazier keeps that alive, and they will give it up. Yamaguchi. Oh, that is going to go through. It's going to be a lifting violation. And another point for Japan. Coach K will use his final timeout of this second set.
ไล่ตรงนี้ก่อนนั้นเวลาขึ้นบล็อกนะเราขึ้นไปเลยซื้อไปเลยนะไม่ต้องไปรอแล้วล้นก็ล้นนะแต่ขึ้นมาเลยถ้าขึ้นแรงมันติดนะเอาใหม่นะตั้งโซนตั้งโซนรับนะคนแรก
So 18-13 is our score right now. 5-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Trying to take command of this match, at least here in set number 2. Once again, great to have you with us. Noel Zanate with Denise Tan for Sports 5 on Action TV. And to our international audiences around the world, thank you for joining us. And Owumi is going to have another headache after Jit knocks it into her face.
Well, that's what you get if you only have one blocker in front of her.
So the substitution right now will happen for Thailand. So for Plumjit, that is the third time that she has failed in her assassination attempt of a Japanese player. 18-14 is our score, as we have the return of Chua Lim, who's going to be serving and playing in the back row for Frazier, and it doesn't work. As Japan has just shifted to another gear.
Yes, definitely. They adjusted very well compared to that first set, going back to those quick sets that have worked for them for quite a while.
19-14. 5-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets. Make that a 6-point lead. Their largest in the game. And Sagawa has really found another way to hurt their opponent.
Well, great anticipation. Of course, knowing Plumjit is there, Plumjit will always be the #1 option.
Ponpon and Jutarat has been ineffective so far today. Sagawa. Ponpon once again. Combination this time. And Willavan is still dug up by Yanagita. Plumjit. Owumi skyballs it over. Ponpon. Here comes Willavan.
There you go. That's the set that Willavan likes. Because of course, if you have a lower set, a shorter set, the attacker will automatically have a quicker approach to it, much more explosive attack.
And you put the defending champions against the wall, they're going to try to find a way to claw back. It's exactly what Plumjit and the rest of Bangkok Glass are trying to do. Combination from the back, that did not cross. It's going to be 4 touches against Japan.
That could have been big, It was a good play. Middle blocker was fooled by that fake from the middle attacker of Japan.
So Plumjit trying to rally her troops back into this match here in the second set. Sagawa against 2. They go to the other side for Koga, cross court, dug up. Great defense by Japan. Torigoe goes to Koga. Back set now. Oh, Willavan. Good reflexes that time shown by Koga. Willavan is just relentless.
It's a big thing if you have a working middle attacker. Of course, the blockers will always try to defend that first play, which is in the middle. So Willavan always getting one block free.
20-17. Timeout now for the NEC Red Rockets. Can they get it done? The NEC Red Rockets lost the first set by 3. They're up by 3 here in the second set. But Lumjit Tinkau is trying to dig deep. 33-year-old from Bangkok. Koga. Oh, nicely done.
Very good read by Koga. As she was about to go up, she saw that
Portbun wasn't there yet.
Portbun or Chitarat was actually on her way back to zone 1.
But Chitarat hasn't really been a factor so far today for Bangkok Glass. Sagawa has been a big factor, and she'll send that to another province.
She hit the ball.
21-18 is our score, and our first change in the lineup for Thailand. So we did mention Jutarat. She's going to take a seat right now, and coming in for the first time is Tidarat Bengvichai. Just call her Tidarat for now, but she serves it long as well. 3 points away from tying us up at 1 set apiece for Japan's NEC Red Rockets.
22 serving 18 to serve for NEC Red Rockets number 4, Kaname
Yamaguchi now. Point four, nice combination play, just a little too low on the set that time, Denise.
Yeah, and I think it was well read. They've been going to that play, a fake quick play and then giving it to Willovan. So of course this time Japan was ready for it.
No chance of getting him through the blockers. So 2 points away from tying us up at 1 set apiece. Yamaguchi sends that one out. And this has been a problem since the first set for Japan.
Remember, back in the first, they committed 4 service errors. And here in the second, at least 2 or 3. So that's going to be big.
Willovan. Quick play for Ono. And you could probably say, oh no, it's Ono with that one.
Well, yeah, most especially if you don't have any blocker in front of her. Again, with Japan, they really should stick to those quick plays because it's always just one blocker in front of them.
Well, 5 set points for NEC. Pornpun finding Okwa, who finds no luck. Ono, Yamaguchi. That is going to be in for the little one, Mizuki Yanagita. And they have done it. NEC Japan has tied this up at 1 set apiece. 25-19 here in set number 2. Take a look at that last attack once again. Heading into zone 6. That was a good one. Coming from the 5'5" Mizuki Yanagita. We'll be back for set number 3. We are tied at 1 set apiece. We have the start of set number 3 upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Not very happy are the looks on the faces now for the Bangkok Glass squad because they now have to go to at least a 4th set in this one. But just credit the all-around brilliance shown by the Japanese in set number 2.
Well, Well, definitely. Again, I mean, they adjusted with the errors they committed in set number one. Most especially with the service error. Back in set number one, they committed 4. Here in the second, they did commit a few, but at least they lessened it. And they went for those quick attacks, as I've said a while ago. Every time they go to that quick attack, it's normally just one blocker in front of them. So definitely knowing where the strengths are.
Well, Sagawa was just the one that really caught fire there in set number 2. The wing spikers were not really a factor for Japan, but defensively, of course, they also had a little help from the little one herself. We're talking, of course, about Mizuki Yanagita, who also translated that into offense, getting set point for the Japanese as we take a look at some of the numbers from set number 2.
Well, as you can see here, serve not really a factor, even the block, but look at those attacks, 17 compared to 12. And this is because, you know, Japan was actually receiving better. The setter Yamaguchi was distributing the ball very well compared to the first set. Everybody was contributing, and the attackers as well were variating their plays, not really going for those hard hits. Even if they would go straight, they would go across court, and sometimes they would also just try to dip it over, and just try to get that ball in the open area.
Well, Jitarat is back in the lineup now for Bangkok. Another thing that we need to credit for Japan is when they changed liberos from Ueno or make that Iwasaki going to Torigoe, things started to get better for them in terms of their first ball.
Well, it's really all about defense. As we all know, defense should always be your first line of offense, regardless if it's at the net or at the floor. You cannot set up an attack if you don't get that first ball.
Torigoe has been lifted though, so they will go back to Iwasaki to begin set number 3. Yamaguchi setting us in motion. Pon, quick play for Ngokwa, no touch, first point to Japan.
Yeah, Ngokwa had the right thing in mind, trying to set it long. No one was there, but execution just not on point.
So Yamaguchi once again. They've just been on point. We were looking at the lineup of Japan earlier. They only have about 3 girls at least 6 feet tall. One of the smallest lineups in the competition.
But you know what? When you don't have the height, you go for speed, and that's exactly what Japan is showing us.
Tied at 1 right now. So we have Ngokwa. Full name, of course, is Nguyen Thi Ngokwa from Vietnam. One of the 2 imports for Bangkok Glass. Yanagita changing it up again.
And that's what they got, or what got them that second set win. Those soft shots.
Yanagita, again, only 5'5", but plays way above the net. Koga. Lumjit on the run. Kept alive by Iwasaki. Yamaguchi. Yanagita. Pon. Lumjit. Dug up there by Koga. This smells like a long rally, but according to Yanagita, no, it's not going to be a long one. That, of course, was an ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Altera Plan 699 ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Koga, the serve. Almost drops it in. Frazier against 2. That's usually the result. It's either a kill or it's off the hands of the blockers.
Yeah, because she knows very well when to try to force it through the block or just really use the hands of the blockers.
Again, I'm not quite sure she's only 6'2".
I know, she looks so much taller than that.
She's a bit taller than Lumjit.
And Plumjit is around 6'1" already, right?
Tinkao. Oh, nicely done, but it'll miss. Yep, looked like it was on the line from where we were, but Jitarat is yet to get her motor running in this one. So here's the serve coming from Ono. Oh, Plumjit, great reach by Ono. Owumi, it was touched. The lead is now starting to get big for the Japanese once again. And I'm not sure if Bangkok Glass is used to this kind of adversity. As we take a look at this ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Altera 699, ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Yamaguchi. From the back, Koga. The lead is now 4 points.
From the back row.
6-2.
Great play coming from Japan, from Yamaguchi.
And Coach K will not wait for the technical timeout. He needs to address this drought right now.
ไม่ต้องรีบใจเย็นมันจะเล่นตามอยู่นี่แหละแต่แต่เราต้องนิ่งต้องเข้าใจว่าโซนดีเฟนซ์ยังไงบ้างนะอย่าลึกอย่าลงลึกเขามันตีไม่หนักเพราะมันตี3 เมตรนะแปะแบบตีทางนะงั้นถอยนะนิ่งเลยชนเลยไม่ต้องถอยลึกมากชนเลยนะเพราะมันเซตได้ไล่อย่าปล่อย
が出るからで決定率も良くないからだからラリー急がんでいい崩せば必ずこっちのペースになるから
Takenori Yamada, head coach of Japan, just breaking huddle with his squad. Of course, Coach K, we just call him Coach K because we're going to try to pronounce his last name once again.
You can try.
I'll try it. Porcharti Yongchi. K. Porcharti Yongchi.
Coach K.
Coach K, that's it. Coach K needs to address Bangkok Glass struggles here in this third set. It's tied at 1 set apiece, and Jutarat has been the missing link. Maybe this will wake her up.
Well, she has been hitting smarter. Some of her attacks, had the right intention, but just not the right execution. Hopefully, this last attack would wake her up.
Jump serve coming up from Ashley Frazier. Yamaguchi combination, Owumi. That one hit Frazier as it went out.
Well, again, it was a simple but very effective play. You get your middle attacker to deceive the middle blocker, and that's exactly what happened.
7-3 for the NEC Red Rockets. Oh! That's going to be a good one once again. Coming from Jutarat. Now, Jutarat has scored on back-to-back points. This is a good sign.
Well, confidence, you can really see it from her. Look at this last attack, getting it through the gap between the two blockers.
And again, an ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Ultera Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Umi. Soft shot, and she finds the hole once again. 8-4 in favor of the Japanese. We have this break. We'll be right back.
それにして他を使うっていうのはできる。だからそのためにも早く入る。もしタクのところを生かしたいんだったら開いた方がいい。TZ。もしこっちを生かすんだったら。でもおとりにするんだったらクイックの方がいい。
Back with us here, ladies and gentlemen, the Alonte Sports Arena in Biñan City, Laguna, Philippines. This is our continuing coverage of the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship, and we'd like to welcome everybody joining us from all over the world for our telecast right here in the Philippines. We are on Action TV and Sports 5, and the Jutarat is now fully awake for Bangkok Glass.
Definitely hitting smarter. One blocker was in front of her, but she knew that the straight hit would be open, and also considering the floor defense, nobody was there. And Owumi too late to defend it.
They're still down by 3, however. Combination to the back row for Yanagita.
Yeah, I like how Japan is utilizing that back row attack. Of course, looking at their height, they know that Thailand is a much more taller team.
Yeah, they are.
So you really have to look for other options.
They need to be creative, and they've been successful so far. And that is a good serve coming from Sagawa. And that is still kept alive, though. Yamaguchi cannot score. Willivan. Yamaguchi. Koga. Oh, that lands on the line. That point is going to go to Bangkok Glass. Great defense.
6 serve 9. Survey number 8. Winner 1.
Koga was there, but it was denied. Take a look at this one again. That was Wow, getting full credit for the block point. But Ono gets it right back.
You know, that slide play is really effective for Japan.
Now they change liberos almost every rotation. Yamaguchi, the center. Oh, nice drop attempt. The Japanese were wise to it. Free ball, however, is the result. Put on the run, Ngokwa. And she's saying two can play in that game.
Yeah, I mean, they really should try and go to that slide play because they seldom do it. So
Right.
definitely the middle blocker would be lost.
And that was an ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Ultra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Ngokwa. To the other side, Yanagita detonates another one.
Definitely something that you would want to see from your setter. Trying to spread out the defense.
Well, I guess they know that this young lady, who's only 5'5", is prepared to wage war against the entire Thai squad if need be. That serve died really quickly coming from Koga. Yanagita combination now. Yanagita scores again. How do you stop a high-flying 5'5" open spiker?
Well, we tried to put more blockers on her. Look at this. It was only Ashley Fraser, and even though Fraser is so much taller than her,
Right.
there's so much space going cross.
Koga. On the run, Blumjit. She has been quiet since the first set. Owumi decided otherwise. Blumjit. Yanagita is just doing everything for her squad. Blumjit. And the aggression pays off for Thailand's living legend.
Yeah, I mean, Pornpun is going back to her again and again, even though the past few attacks wasn't that successful. And look at Plumjit again, going long, going to that corner.
They are still down by 4. Now the serve is going to happen for Bangkok Glass. 8 serving 12. Combination play. Owumi kept alive that time by Willivan. Fraser. Yamaguchi. Another combination run for Owumi.
They really have been reading Thailand's defense very well. I mean, of course, you would rather like wait for that long ball first before trying to go for the short ball. But the thing is, Thailand really getting stuck.
It's not all about power for the Japanese hitters. They've shown that time and time again as Willivan enters zone 1 almost unmolested. So 13-9 is our score. 4-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Ashley Fraser. That is out. Fraser not in her element in terms of serving, especially with that jump serve for today. And back comes Chitata Chualim. So let's see if Chualim can extend the defense in the back. Try and stop the Japanese onslaught here in the third. Japanese shooting themselves in the foot as Yanagita serves that one out.
They can't afford to do that, especially with this Thai team.
So Torigoe and Iwasaki just switching places. When it's Thailand's turn to serve, it's Iwasaki who's in, the reception specialist, and Torigoe is the dig specialist. That is a smart move for Nguyen Ngokwa.
Yeah, really quick thinking from her. Everybody was scrambling in the middle of the court. Zone 1, 5, and 6 were open. And you see it here. She just pushed it back in zone 5.
And that cuts the lead now to just 3. Sagawa denied by Willivan. There's Jutarat. Free ball from Umi. And no problem for Ngokwa if there is no defense in front.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I like also how Pornpun is connecting with Ngokwa. If everybody's scrambling on the other side of the court, what you want to do is counter-attack with a quick play because, of course, the defense won't be ready for it.
Coach K, Pornchari Yongchip will call a timeout.
อันตีดีหนักปล่อยเลยยืนตามลายแล้วก็อ่านหยอดอย่างเงี้ยนะบอลแน่นบล็อกแน่นเลยหยอดแน่นอนหยอดข้างหลังบล็อกหยอดข้างหลังบล็อก
หยอดข้างหน้าเล่นเองเล่นได้เลยนะ
กลับเข้ามาเล่น
ถ้า
ยื
มี
น
บอลหยอดข้างหน้าเล่นเองแล้วก็
จัดเลยครับ
ไปไป
เดี๋ยวเดี๋ยว
14-12, still in favor of the NEC Red Rockets of Japan, but slowly gaining ground right now. Our Bangkok Glass, courtesy of their skipper, the living legend, Lumjit Tinkao Yamaguchi. From the back, that is pushed by Yanagita. And Ngokwa is starting to heat up once again.
And you know, she had two blockers in front of her, but it wasn't a problem for Ngokwa.
13 serving 14.
The rally is on.
Team captain, Lumjit
From being down by as much as 5 points here in the third, it is just a 1-point lead for the Japanese. Lumjit. To the back they go to Yanagita. Lumjit stops it. Willavan. Yamaguchi. Owumi misses. We are tied at 14.
So this is what I'm telling you a while ago. Japan really has to be careful. I remember they were up by at least 4 points when they committed one service error, and that's where it all started.
Gonna have a double sub for a full front line for Japan. We're gonna have Oyama seeing her first action. Ayana Oyama, and their new setter will be Rina Shaw, who performed very well against Photon Filipinas in a reserve
Still
duty.
serving team captain, Lumjit Tinkao.
And Blumjit give Bangkok Glass the lead. Oyama. Down the middle, Ngokwa kept alive there by Torigoe. Soft shot from Oyama. Combination play, Willaman. Shaw. Oyama denied. And that is going to be the lead for Bangkok Glass.
Straight points. They're racking up the points. Really taking advantage of Japan losing.
Action in the first set.
Serve, team captain,
Coming back to the game.
Lumjit Tinkao.
Blumjit.
It's going to go out.
Service error.
So the momentum has stopped for the moment for the ties.
15 all. Serve, team captain,
And now Akari Umumi.
Umi.
Good serve. Ngokwa dug up that time. Attack from the back row, still denied. Double block keeps it alive. Willavan. Shaw. Oyama.
And that's it. From Oyama.
So Ayana Oyama will give Japan the lead once again, heading into technical timeout number 2 of the third set. 16-15. Good connection between the two reserves for the NEC Red Rockets. We'll be right back. Back with us here, ladies and gentlemen. 16-15 is our score, a 1-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan against Bangkok Glass of Thailand in our second semifinal matchup. The winner of this match goes on to face Bai Shenzhen of China in the final. And our defending champions are against the ropes right now as we are tied at 1 set apiece. They're down by 1 here in set number 3. Pornpon. Ngoc gets it on the line.
Ngoc getting it through that middle blocker who was late for that defense. And of course, targeting once again those corners.
For Bangkok Glass,
So
number 10.
becoming a big factor here in set number 3
Jutarat
is Jutarat
Montripila.
Montripila. Here's Shaw. Oyana. At the net, Oyana beating Ngoc in the joust. Great save, but
That's outside.
it will not stay in. Boy, Torigoe showing a lot of good reflexes that time. The point still goes
17, serving 16.
to Bangkok Glass. They have a 1-point lead.
Jutarat Montripila.
Jutarat once again to serve. Oh, kept alive barely. And again, usually, Denise, we know that happens when the defense scatters after a reception. That usually means it's going to be either a free ball or an easy point for the opponent.
Definitely, especially if you counter-attack with a quick play.
And a timeout called by Japan.
Yeah.
18-16, a 2-point lead for Bangkok Glass as the action continues right here at the Alonte Sports Arena in Biñan, Laguna, here in the Philippines. Noel Zarat is still alongside Denise Tan. Thank you for joining us right here on Action TV and Sports 5 and around the world. Mabuhay from the Philippines. Here's Shaw. Quick play now. Going to Yataka.
Again, great target.
Now for Yataka. New middle spiker for Japan, and she's a powerful one. Coming off the bench. So right now, Yataka will set us in motion. Pornpon. Down the middle for Ngoc. Shaw is there. Second ball handled by the middle hitter. Oyama not able to get that one done. Cross scored, kept alive, but it goes back to Thailand. Willavan loads up on it. Still kept alive. Shaw combination play. Willavan is just relentless, but she is denied time and time again. Oh, that's going to take a special hit from the other side from Ngoc.
Well, Ngoc, I think Japan was, I think they hesitated a bit because it actually hit the net first. The half-second late movement cost them that error.
That's usually going to change the flight plan of the ball. Here is Shaw. And Koga unable to get it done. Ngoc again. One more time around for Bangkok Glass. Ngoc again.
With a quick attack.
Young lady from Vietnam has been the difference maker here in set number 3.
Well, every time they do give it to her, it's more often than not, it translates into a point.
The lead is 3 for Bangkok Glass, the defending champions. Shaw. Off the hands, that's a good retaliation coming from Sarina Koga. Here we go with the subs as the starters return. Yamaguchi and the utility spiker Yanagita is in. So 2018 tightly contested set number 3. Of course, we are tied at 1 set apiece. We expect this, of course, being in the semifinals already. Here's Yamaguchi. They'll go over now. to Chua Lim. Kept alive that time by Chang Kiao. Ngokwa denied by Ono.
You know, Ngokwa, she basically handed it to the blockers. I mean, the blockers were already there, so might as well try and force your way through them. You can't just go with a soft tip because their hands were already on top of the tape.
That lead is down to 1. Yamaguchi. A block that goes out. I think you got hurt, Denise. So Ngokwa trying to carry while this rotation is still without their captain. Lumjit is not in this rotation.
Oh, she's there in front already.
She's now in front. All right, so that rotation is over as Ngokwa will serve. Yanagita. Good coverage that time from Oumi. Yanagita going to zone 1. Dug up that time by Willovan. And Sudata is still in front. That is a miss from Koga.
You know, great intention from Koga. That was a good cut, just too much power. You know what? If it hit the line, nobody was going to be there. No one was even near the ball.
And I'm surprised actually, Denise. I don't know if you share the sentiment that Ashley Frazier is not back in front.
Well, you know, she is an import, and these 6 inside, talking about Thailand team, they're much more familiar with each other.
Right. Ooh. That is unforced from Ono. 2 points away from claiming the 3rd Bangkok glass. So Winti Ngokwa. Sharp serve, no problem for Torigoe. Quick play, and again, we made this point earlier that Japan's quick play will only carry 1 blocker, and Ono made them pay.
They are also, she is also going long. Defense formation of Thailand always frees up those zone 1, 5, and 6.
Sarina Koga, actually one of the taller players on the Japanese side at 6 feet. Chua Lim. And Chang Kiao gets that up for Plumjit. Oumi is still keeping alive. Chua Lim against 2.
Basically hitting it off Yamaguchi. I mean, comparing the 2 blockers, Yamaguchi is the shorter one, so of course you try to get it through her.
And again, she was initially sent in for defensive duties in the back row. Now she's showing that she's a pretty strong spiker as well, as Plumjit is informed by our referee from Kazakhstan, Yulia Akulova, to tell her coach to cool it. 4 set points for Bangkok Glass. 3 set points for Bangkok Glass.
Again, it's very important for Japan to always try and free up their attacker. So that fake from the middle hitter is very important. Look at that. Attack from Umi.
Akari Oumi just put the entire nation of Japan on that spike. But Plumjit tries to respond for Thailand. Plumjit again. Net violation on Japan. And an anticlimactic end to set number 3. As it will go to Bangkok Glass 25-21. So many stories in this set. It looked like the NEC Red Rockets was going to walk away with it. But then Ngokwa and Plumjit put it together. And they now have a 2-1 lead. 4th set when we return.
young, and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you
quick attacks because, you know, as what they saw in the first 3 sets, it has been working for them. Also, they need to try and fool the middle blockers of Thailand because when you don't have Plumjit, if you don't have Ngokwa in front of you helping the wing blockers, then it's going to be an easier time for your wing attackers to get that point.
The wing attackers have actually been quite silent for the squad of the NEC Red Rockets in this game. They have been going more to their middle attacks. The only wing spiker that has actually made a lot of noise has been Mizuki Yanagita. So inspection of the little paper. And again, Denise, explain to our audiences what that little paper in John de Hugo's hand is for the lineups.
The rotation. Yeah, you have to check the rotation, of course, for the 6 players inside so they know who's about to serve, who's in the front line, who's in the back line, so no one commits a violation.
Thankfully, we haven't really seen much of the rotation violations in this tournament. Set 4, and there is Portpun.
Well, I like that Portpun is actually taking the initiative to score on her own. She hasn't done that all throughout the match. So, of course, no blocker was there. That was actually Yanagita's job to defend the center.
First point to Bangkok Glass here in the 4th. Yanagita gets it back, however.
Well, that's what you want. Even if she messed up with her offense, she's going to get that point back in her offense, or messed up on her defense, rather.
And we got Koga now up to serve for the Japanese. That, of course, was an ultra-fast spike presented to us by PLDT Home Terra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Now, a question here would be, how tired are you mentally if you are NEC Red Rockets?
You can't be.
You cannot, right?
You can't be tired. This is the semifinals. If you lose this, you're not going to get a chance to get that that gold medal.
Right. And you want to knock off the defending champions.
Yes.
And again, they have a saying, there is a saying, to be the best, you need to beat the best. And it's unfortunate for the Japanese to be meeting the defending champions as early as now, but if they can get the job done, then they deserve to be in the finals. They are down by 1 set, however. 2 sets to 1 is the lead of Bangkok Glass. This 4th set is tied at 2. Not anymore. Yanagita is on her way to a tournament high in terms of scoring in this game.
Well, they really have to take advantage of the fact that, look at this last play, no middle blocker. So, cross-court wide open for Japan.
And that was, of course, an ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Terra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya.
Another net violation.
Yep. So this is familiar. This is how the 2nd set started. And when the NEC Red Rockets got the lead in the 2nd set, they never looked back. Down the 3rd, NEC led by as much as 5 points. But then Bangkok last found a way to come back. Pornpon. A good strike there coming from Chua Lim, who is now in the lineup for good.
Yeah, well, she has been doing well. She actually just went in the middle of the third set. But she has been reading the defense of Japan.
There's Pornpon now on the serve. Combination play. That is dug up.
Still alive.
And the down the line doesn't work there for Jutarat. Drop shot. Oh, still kept alive. Amazing. And finally, Owumi says it was ours from the start.
I think Thailand actually hesitated a bit because they were expecting that there was a call or something. A half second late with their defense.
That ultra-fast spike is brought to us by PLDT Home Algera Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. 5-3.
Hit the antenna.
6-3. Well, it was 4 touches anyway, but yes, the referee's going to rule that it hit the antenna. 6-3 NEC Red Rockets.
Serving Mizuki Yanagita.
Yanagita. That is going to be out. Coming from Jutarat. She's saying check ball. Even Gamova couldn't reach that one.
Well, of course, you're going to try and say anything to the referee.
Serving number 15, Mizuki Yanagita.
So Yanagita once again. Now they have a 4-point lead. Still kept alive. Chua Lim. To the back they go to Koga. Chua Lim kept alive. Kept alive again by Koga. Owumi. And Pornpon gets to that one. This is a long rally ongoing. Combination play given up by Japan. From the back, that is a miss, however, coming from Willavan.
The set was quite low for Willavan. So
A 5-point lead, right? Denise for the NEC Red Rockets. We'll be right back.
อย่าปล่อยนะกัดไปเรื่อยนะตื้อกัดไปเรื่อยก่อนนะพอเบียดพอใกล้ปุ๊บเราแซงปุ๊บมันก็จะไปแล้วแล้วขยันมากขยันบล็อกขยันดีเฟนส์นะ
Ladies and gentlemen, for continuing coverage of the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship from the Alonte Sports Arena in Biñan, Laguna. Noel Zanate with Denise Tan. Thanking our international audience also for joining us. But here in the Philippines, we are out on Action TV and Sports 5. 5-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan.
oh, wow, that's still alive.
It is still alive. They're almost committing suicide to get to that story going. However, there is no justice in this world, is there?
Well, again, if you see the other team, scrambling, we saw Japan, outside of the court. Look at that great save. You always try to counterattack with a quick play because no one is ready. No one is in the right defense formation, and that's exactly what happened. Japan failing to defend that ball.
Lumjit able to get it done. Chua Lim on the serve. Bangkok still down by 4, now down by 3. And I believe Lumjit Tinkao is now personally saying, I'm going to get us back, let's go.
Well, definitely, if it's not with their offense, it's with her defense.
Right at the net, no problem. 8-5, set number 4. Combination, from one captain to another, as Akari Owumi is able to score for Japan.
Yeah, Owumi Right after that hit, you knew that she was just going to use the blockers.
NEC Red Rockets.
Twist of her wrist was just going out.
Team captain,
On
number 6,
9-5.
Akari Omi.
Lead is 4 for the NEC Red Rockets. Lumjit. Koga finding the hole again. And if you are the coach of Bai Shenzhen of China, and you know that one of these two teams are going through, and if it just happens to be Bangkok Glass, you know that they have a big problem in terms of their defense.
Yeah, definitely, especially when it comes to those soft hits.
Net violation, Japan. And acknowledging is Yamaguchi. So 10-6, still in favor of the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Lumjit Tinkau. I wonder what it feels like for you, Denise, to actually be in the same building as Lumjit.
Well, she is a legend. I remember I was still playing in college, and she was already Lumjit. So really a big name in the volleyball world.
Well, of course, now it is a 5-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets. Sagawa into the net. 11-7 is our score. Of course, for Japan, well, they're the most famous players in the world. Because in their country, we're talking about Saudi. It's another jersey that went for a very, very high amount.
Oh, yeah.
During the auctions here held last year. In the meantime, Kana Ono continues.
Taking advantage. Look at this. No blockers for her. Willa Van didn't even go for that jump.
She thought there was someone behind her. And that ultra-fast spike is brought to us by PLDT Home Terra Plan 699. Ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. Willa Van gets it back allegedly, but Ono is there for the block again.
Yeah, great read. They knew that it was going to go to the outside hitter.
Now this is getting serious. It is a 6-point lead for the Japanese. Timeout, Coach K.
เล่นบ้างกับเดินหลังยาวนะดึงมาไม่เป็นไรช่วยตัวกับโกกะได้นะดึงมาเพราะมันไปรุ่น3เลยมันขยับไปรุ่น3เลยนะถ้าจะทับจังหวะ2ให้ทับก็ได้นะดีกว่าถ้าตอนแรกมันจ้องอยู่ทำไมรีบไป
So 13-7 as Yamaguchi will put it in. Kaname Yamaguchi. Amy Frazier, Ashley Frazier is still waiting for her chance to come back into this match. It hasn't happened yet here in the fourth, but Mokwa is able to score for Bangkok Glass.
Well, Mokwa not really forcing her attack. She knew that the blocker's hands weren't really in the right position. There was a gap between the net and the hands, or the block rather. So much more controlled spike would get it in.
Lead is still 5, however. Now 4 on the service ace from Willaman. So Willaman up in Yapong, up to serve. On the run once again, Ono read better this time by the Thais. Chua Lim almost scoring that time. Torigoe gives it up. Porn combination. Chua Lim, yes! Here come the Thais once again, only down by 3. Serving still.
Serving, Wilawan Apinapong.
Is Willaporn. Oh, Yanagita finds a big opening in the back.
And it's always been Thailand's problem. Again, zone 1 and 5, those two corners at the back. Sweeper is really having a hard time trying to defend that.
Again, Yanagita just finding enough space to get it through.
Serving, Sanina Koga.
Koga, member of the Japanese youth team. And that's going to be a service ace for her. Koga is only 22 years old. A lot of volleyball still in store. She just turned 23 last May 21st.
Serving Sarina Koga.
Check that, she only turned 20 last May 21st. And we got Chua Lim getting it done herself. So 15-11. This brings up now 29-year-old from Vietnam, Nguyen Thi Ngoc Hoa. Combination play, and that works again. Boy, I'm telling you, Mizuki Yanagita is starting to become a headache for Coach K and the rest of Bangkok Glass. It is a 5-point lead for NEC. We'll be right back. So our score right now is 16-11, a 5-point lead for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Thank you for joining us once again for our continuing coverage of the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship. We are now in the semifinals. This is our second semifinal. Of course, the other semifinal was won earlier today by Bai Shenzheng of China. They await the winner of this match to compete for the gold tomorrow. Oumi. And that is going to work for Sagawa. And it's starting to look like we might, there's a big chance, Elise, that we might go the distance in this one.
Well, we did expect it to go to the 5th, at least the 4th.
Well, it is a 4-set match right now. Service error coming from Kana Ono. So now the setter of Thailand is about to serve. Ponpon, get barred. Here's the combination play once again. Oh boy, Yanagita is going to have a medal after this match, win or lose.
Look at that hit. One blocker, cross court was wide open. And she's got the hop, so definitely almost hit the attack line.
Well, the hops, that's another statement actually. Oh! A little bit of a problem reading the ball that time. Coming from Chankyao Tikaporn, the libero. She thought it was going to stay in. All of a sudden it started sailing out, couldn't get out of the way. And that will now lead to a timeout. So are we going the distance? Let's take a look at this one once again. That actually just hit, I believe, just a portion of her shoulder, maybe her hair.
Maybe, I think it was her hair.
Oh. And a lot of liberos know how that feels like. The lead is 7 now and climbing for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Better execution of the combination, however, the defense still there for the Japanese. Nice back set. Jutarat, been quiet since the 3rd. Back row attack is out barely from the 20-year-old Sarina Koga.
Yeah, but good intention. They could still afford to make those kinds of errors because they knew where they wanted to place that ball. And again, no one was there to defend it, but good thing for Thailand, it went out.
19-13, lead down to 6. Chua Lim has displaced Frazier in this lineup. Almost another point that time from Sagawa. Sky ball return now for Thailand. Oumi turned back. Oh, that's going to stay in. Good defense for Jutarat.
Better net defense definitely for Thailand. So even though they're down by 5, I won't be surprised if they can catch up.
But a quick timeout now from a Japanese coach, Akinori Yamada. Well, we're going through the ages again of these Japanese ladies. Mizuki Yanagita, who's probably on her way to 20 points right now, Denise, just turned 20 last March 25th. So you got 2 youth members making a difference for their squads. For their squad right here in Biñan. Chua Lim on the serve. She's 22 years old. Oh, that is off the hands. Oumi, team captain.
Oumi really, I think that was the intention right from the start. Seeing Jutarat in front.
That is a good response on the timeout. So they want to send this to a 5th set. They're doing a good job at it right now.
Oh, wow.
But there goes another one coming from Willovan.
Again, with Willovan, you really need to give her lower, quicker sets because that's what she wants. Middle blocker, once again, was late for the block.
So 25, or make that 20-15. Lumjit. Koga, cross-court beauty.
Great target by Koga. Willovan, who was supposed to defend zone 4, was actually waiting for a drop ball or that coverage. So again, open spot found by Koga.
And again, Denise, at this point, the NEC Red Rockets would love to trade points with Bangkok Glass. Can they get it done? Oops, that's going to be a service error coming from Naoko Yataka. And now the serve coming up from Jutarat Montrepila.
Serving number 10, Jutarat Montrepila.
On the run.
Oh, good save.
That's just a great save coming from Chua Lim. Still a good save again coming from Yanagita. They go to the wing this time, and there are 2 defenders there. It's still alive, though. Koga denied by Ngokwa.
Very well read by Ngokwa. That ball had nowhere to go.
21-17. Thailand wants to take this match right now, but they're still down by 4, while their opponents, the NEC Red Rockets of Japan, are 4 points away from sending us to a 5th set. On the run, Ngokwa, nice denial from Koga.
Well, this time they read that slide because that's what Pornpun has been doing, trying to spread out the block.
Ngokwa, you can see the anguish after that one. So Jutarat is going to take a seat. Here's the setter, Yamaguchi. Kanami Yamaguchi. Too near the net. Pornpun. Ngokwa. Yamaguchi. And that's a great dig by Chua Lim. Oh no!
And that's Kana Ono.
Again, it's those quick sets.
Again, it's oh no, it's oh no.
One defender. And that long ball again working for Japan.
Again, the emotional leader of the squad has her team 2 points away from sending us to a 5th. Good dig from Oumi. Koga. Willivan up, still alive. Pornpon, Ngokwa, yes. They just won't go away.
I know. But you know what? That was a lucky break for Thailand. It was actually a high ball on the side of Japan, but Japan just hesitating, looking at each other.
That's right. Well, still 5 points back. Gotta start somewhere. Yanagita
Goes out.
just missing.
Outside. 19 serving 23.
Let's see, they do still have one timeout left, I believe, and they will use it right now. The NEC Red Rockets, their lead is down to 4.
今の時にセンターが真ん中からでノーマークだったんでもう一回やってきますもう一個高さそう思います OK レフトから打つと結構もうバックライトライン上げ出したから後ろよしセット最高
So which will come first? The rally of Bangkok Glass or a 5th set? That's for us to observe right now here at the Alonte Sports Arena in Biñan. Torigoe, Yamaguchi. Yanagita is denied. Off the net. Still kept alive. Pornpon, Ngokwa. Up now for Koga. Pornpon, Ngokwa again. It's that combination between the center and the middle hitter that is working now for Bangkok Glass.
Yeah, Pornpon really knows what kind of set, how quick it is, how high it should be, and of course Ngokwa knowing where to place that ball. It's all just the end line.
Well, they're only down by 3. Could be less. Chua Lim. Yanagita denied. All of a sudden, the doors are shut for Japan. Chua Lim gives it up. Torigoe going over to Koga, who gets it done. 4 set points now for the NEC Red Rockets.
Now at set point. And serving for the set.
So serving for the set,
Number 2.
20-year-old Sarina Koga. Pornpon denied at the net. We are going the distance in this one. Which team will make it to the championship game? We need one more set to decide this one, as Japan just put up a great defensive stance to deny the final hurrah of Bangkok Glass in their rally attempt. So the 5th set when we return. Stay with us. Alonte with Denise Tan. And you sort of knew this was a big possibility. There was a big possibility of this happening, Denise.
Definitely. I mean, again, these two teams being very big in the volleyball world, their offense, their defense, always on point. And I'm not surprised, really.
Well, again, this is the semifinals, and which team will go on to face our waiting finalist, Bai Shenzheng of China. That was the close shave there. coming from Chen Kiao. However, there was a really serious rally put up here by Bangkok Glass. They were just down by too many points.
Yeah, I think they let Japan get many points too early. I mean, back in the last 3 sets, I think it was a seesaw battle, just 2 points each. It would go to another team, or it would go to Japan, go back to Thailand. But they let Japan lead as much as 5 or 6 points, so it was really trouble for them.
We do have some numbers here, Denise.
Yeah, and looking at the numbers, serves and block, not really a factor. But the attacks, you can really see the deficit there, 6 points for Japan. And I think it also, one big factor for that is that they had better defense in that 4th set. Defense, talking about their net defense, and of course that coverage that was always there whenever someone from their team would attack. So the second attempt is there for them whenever Thailand blockers would get their attacks.
So now it is down to a 5th set. The rains are still pouring outside, so there's some slick spots now starting to develop on the court. That should not be a factor here in set number 5. And again, Bangkok Glass, they are the defending champions of this one. They still have the reigning MVP in Plumjit Dingkao. But how about the upstart youngsters of the NEC Red Rockets forcing a 5th set against the defending champions? So now here is Sarina Koga. Japan won the coin toss. They are serving first in this race to 15. At least 15. Or at most 15. Let's see. Uh-oh. Not a good start. Pornpon not connecting with Ngokwa that time.
A little confusion, of course. Ngokwa coming from the opposite side. So not really sure where they should connect.
Serving Sarina Koga.
Koga again. Back set now for Willivan. Tries it again, going cross court. And Willivan is now saying, give me the ball while I'm here in front. We're gonna beat these people. And of course, it's an ultra-fast spike. Brought to us by PLDT Home Terra Plan 699, ang pinaka-abot kayang internet na pampamilya. Serve now from Ngokwa. Tied at 1 here in set number 5. No longer tied as the captain, Akari Owumi, scores for Japan.
Well, great cross-court hit. Once again, just getting freed up, having one blocker there. Plumjit getting tricked by the setter.
Kana Ono. Little hitter for Japan. On the serve. Good denial at the net coming from Nami Sagawa.
Sagawa reading that ball from Willivan. In fairness to Willivan, the set was quite short for her. So couldn't really do much with that.
Well, Willivan has performed admirably so far for Bangkok Glass, but they still want to win. 3-1, set number 5. Plumjit dug up. Yanagita. Plumjit. Owumi. Is it time for the captain to take over now for the NEC Red Rockets?
You know, great attack there from Owumi. She saw that Willivan, there was a gap between Willivan and the net. So of course, when you go for that soft tip, more often than not, it would just go between the gap or in the big gap.
Early timeout now called by Coach K of Bangkok Glass.
ทำไมลองหยอดเยอะหน่อยนะงั้นดีเฟนส์เราไม่ต้องไปนั่นมากนะดูลองหยอดไว้นะพอเขาบล็อกแน่นปุ๊บเขาก็จะหยอดบล็อกแน่นอยู่นั้นดูให้ดีนะช้าไม่ต้องเลยโอ้ยเอาใหม่ใจเย็น3 ลูกเองไม่ได้มันอยู่นั่นไหลไม่ยาวนี่แหละไหลไม่ยาวก็สั้นยาวเลย
Coach K, Porn Chartiong Cheap, able to get the message across, but they will need a lot of concentration now because the wing spikers of Japan, the dreaded wing spikers, are now starting to score here in set number 5.
Good serve.
Pornpon. Ono. Owumi. There she goes again. Oh, Pornpon had a good idea but executed it poorly. 5-1 NEC Red Rockets, Japan. The defending champions are on the ropes for now. Good save. Yanagita, great defense by Willivan.
Yeah, if you can't do it with your offense, do it with your defense. That's what they need right now. Pornpun is serving.
5-2. So Pornpun, Gedbard, Yamaguchi. And there goes Owumi again. Well, Owumi has just decided this is my time.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? She's really deceiving the blockers. The change up on her approach and in that in her hand gesture is really late, so defenders aren't able to read it.
Good job so far by the 27-year-old from Tokyo. And a great block once again. This time from Nami Sagawa. Sagawa just turned 21 last January.
Oh, really young, you know?
Yep. Makes us feel not young.
Not so young.
Now they will go to the attack from Jutarat.
Oh.
That is going to be long, but a net violation is called against NEC.
A lucky break there for Thailand.
So 3 serving 7 in set number 5. Willivan. Oh, that is off the head of Willivan. And a quick apology coming over from Nami Sagawa as we hit the changeover in this ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Altera, the ultra-fast Aura, ang pinaka-abot-kayang internet ng pampamilya. So tied, or make that 8-3 right now, folks. Boy, what an explosion here from the youngsters from the NEC Red Rockets. But it's still not over for the defending champions, Bangkok Glass. And you know this, Denise, being a player yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just 5 points. And Thailand being a much more experienced team here, they could definitely do something about this.
Over in our own Philippine Superliga here in the country. That one is called out. Just to tell you the story, over in our Philippine Superliga here in the Philippines, there was one match that went to the 5th set. The score was actually 14-9. And the team that had 9 points won the match.
Well, that's what you can't do. If you're the team that has 14 points already, the last thing that you want to do is be complacent.
Actually, I remember the score of that one still being, oh, there's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, against Coach K.
Yep. For what infraction was this?
Oh, because the last attack, the linesman and the referee called it out, but he was saying that it hit the line. So he was trying to...
Oh, he's trying to reverse the call. You can't do that anymore. So he slapped the yellow card. I don't know if things are unraveling here at the side of Bangkok Glass right now. Lifted up now. Good defense at the net. That's going to be Koga teaming up with Sagawa. And now a 7-point lead in set number 5 for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. Going to have a substitution here as Tidarat will check in to replace Jutarat. We saw this earlier.
Serving team captain, Akari
Umi. And Plumjit cannot score. From the back, the push, Yanagita. Big wind-up that time for Tidarat. Off the net. Tidarat tries again. Kept alive by her foot. Chualim. Quick play, long rally. Plumjit keeps it alive. Joust, there's going to be a net violation against Bangkok.
I'm just really crediting everything to Japan's defense. And not just their net defense, but also their floor. Each and every time, if Thailand's attacks would go in, someone is there to defend it.
Well, the defending champions are officially on the ropes. Oh, another bad execution. Yamaguchi cannot score. Chualim off the block, yes. So that stops the drought. But now it's a big hole that they must dig themselves out of. Let's take a look at this. Ultra-fast spike brought to us by PLDT Home Ultera Plan 699, ang pinakabot kayang internet na pampamilya. 4 serving 11 in set number 5. Can Bangkok Glass get this done? Yanagita goes back to Japan. Oh, another one coming there from Sarina Koga.
Well, Koga again just going for that zone 5. Actually, since the start of the match, 5, 6, and 1 has been open for Thailand.
That, of course, is an ultra-fast spike presented to you by PLDT Home Ultera Plan 699, ang pinakaabot kayang internet na pampamilya. 3 points away from a place in the final for the NEC Red Rockets of Japan. And now serving is Ayana Oyana, who just checked in. And that is going to be a score for Sudata Chualim. Sagawa coming in. This is a pretty strange time to bring in your bench if you are Coach Akinori Yamada. I'm sure he knows his players better than we do. Serve for Tidarat. On the run, oh no!
Again, whenever Ono goes for that slide attack, middle blocker, this time that was Ngokwa, will always be late for it.
So 13-5. I did not see this kind of dominating performance.
Me too.
Heading into the 5th set as Japan just limped their way to the 5th. Chualim is denied. We have 9 match points for the NEC Red Rockets. The upset is almost complete. Yamaguchi serving for a place in the gold medal game. Chualim. That is kept up. Yamaguchi. That is also a great dig coming from Chagyao. Yanagita denied. Yanagita tries again. That's just a valiant effort, but better defense by Ngokwa.
Ngokwa is taller.
So 14-6 is our score. Can they do it? I've covered a match where it was 14-9. I've never seen 14-6 before. Let's see if there's a first time for that. Still alive. Ngokwa. 14-7.
And they can still do it. Just got to get it 1 point at a time. It will be hard, but it's possible.
NEC Red Rockets have not spent any of their timeouts yet. You can guarantee when it's 14-9, they'll use one. If it goes to 14-9. Yamaguchi. Back set now, and that's it. The NEC Red Rockets book a place in the championship game by defeating the erstwhile champions Bangkok Glass in 5 sets, 15-7 in set number 5. What a dominating performance for these youngsters out of Japan here in the final set, Denise.
Well, definitely not letting the age factor affect this match, going up against the veterans, going up against a tough, solid team like Thailand. They learned how to adjust, observe and adjust constantly all throughout the 5 sets, knowing the open air.
بانكوك جلاس التايلاندي في مباراة تحديد المركز الثالث والرابع. في النهاية لا يسعني إلا أن أشكر الكابتن غازي قوباع على تحليله لهذه المباراة. شكرا لك يا كابتن.
شكرا حسام، واستمتعنا بكل صراحة اليوم بالمباراة.
أما أنا تقبلوا تحياتي حسام المحمدي
to meet China's Bai Shenzhen in the final, which will be played right here tomorrow. But again, hats off to our former champions,
yes,
Bangkok Glass, and their MVP, Plumjit Tinkao. They just ran into a very inspired group from Japan.
Well, again, Japan not really being a tall team, but using their strength, which is their speed. Because if you don't have height, you go with your speed. And even though those attackers, talking about Thailand, their attackers are going over the blockers, the floor defense is still very much solid for Japan.
Now let's look forward to that final, of course, which happens tomorrow. That'll be the Japanese NEC Red Rockets going up against Bai Shenzhen of China. China, of course, is a tall team. So who's got the edge here? We've seen the speed of Japan today.
Well, I think it really just will go down to whoever is more focused and who has the better defense in that match. Because again, I talked about it. If you have the height, somewhat you'll think you have the advantage because you can go over the blockers. But again, if you have the speed, it doesn't matter if you go over the blockers or the attackers go over the blockers, as long as you can defend the floor, because the floor is the most important thing. You keep that ball away from the floor, and you can set up an attack if you get that first ball. So whoever has a greater defense, who has a much more solid defense, will get the points and the sets in that match. And looking at the numbers here in the fifth set, again, the blocking was on Japan's side, getting 2 more than Thailand, and attacks also. And I think it was, you could just see it, 0 errors for Japan and 4 for Thailand. And we ended the match at what, 15-7. So those 4 points might be crucial for Thailand. If they manage to commit none of those, that would be 15-11, and it would be much easier for them to really catch up and eventually, you know, maybe get this win. But overall, the match summary, you look at that, 5 service aces from Japan, so we know that they're not just attacking from the net, but also from the service line. Blocks not really a factor, I think, because it's similar numbers here, but the attacks, I think we can credit that also with a great coverage coming from Japan, because again, even though the blockers are there for Thailand, when that ball goes back to the side of Japan, they have that coverage, they have that second attempt to make another attempt to get another point.
Well, for the entire match, it was a beauty right there. The first set and the third set going the way of Bangkok Glass, and when they won that third set, we felt it was just a matter of time. A lot of people thought it was just a matter of time before they moved back to the championship. But again, the inspired NEC Red Rockets came to life in sets number 2 and number 4 and totally dominated set number 5, which was the biggest surprise of the match.
I know, I was actually expecting these two teams to go head to head till the last point, even maybe extending this fifth set. But Japan just getting a lead too early in that set. And you know what, in every game, when it comes to the fifth set, you can't afford to do that. If your opponent is leading by 1 or 2, you have to do something about it and immediately adjust so that the lead won't blow up.
Well, we saw some highlights there from set number 2. Or set number 3, rather. So again, the big question that a lot of people will probably be asking heading into the bronze medal match as Bangkok Glass goes up against Kazakhstan is the benching in the late game of their American import, Ashley Frazier. Now, Ashley Frazier was such a big factor in the sets that they won, but suddenly in the fourth set, she was yanked and she never saw action again in the fifth set.
Well, I think, you know, Coach K, of course, has his reasons. Number 1, I think, would be that taking out Fraser would mean that the 6 players inside know each other better. They know how to gel with each other. They know how to motivate and, you know, adjust with each other. And so, I mean, of course, someone else is stepping up. We saw Chuevolim going inside, Sutadta, Jutarat, when they went in, they were also contributing to their team.
And look at the bracket finally, ladies and gentlemen. NEC Red Rockets of Japan emerged into they will barge into the finals, going up against Bai Shenzhen of China. And thank you for joining us for our continuing coverage of the 2016 Asian Women's Club Championship. And we say goodbye from Biñan, Laguna on behalf of Denise Tan. My name is Noel Zanate. We'll see you soon.
to discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young and I didn't understand.